Hello, everyone. My name is Professor Stuart Ralston. I'm chairman of the Paget's Association, and I'd like to welcome you to this video, which is one of a series of videos that we're making for Paget's Awareness Day 2023. Now, 2023 is a very special year for us because it marks the 50th anniversary of the Paget's Association. And the aim of the association, of course, is to support people with Paget's, provide information and fund research. And it's my great pleasure to welcome Mickey Cloutier, all the
Yes.
way from Toronto in Canada. Mickey, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be
Okay.
here.
Thank you. And it's great to speak to you. Now, Mickey, I know you have Paget's disease. Can you maybe take me back to when you first kind of noticed the symptoms and what they were? Over to you.
Okay, well, I noticed the symptoms even though I didn't know it was Paget's about 15 years ago. And one of them was my head circumference. I was having to wear the bigger hats. And my balance was off. I did yoga, but I always had to hold on to the wall. So those were two early ones, but I never really became concerned until about a year and a half ago, where I had pain in my joints and I had almost a lot of water on my knees. And I just thought, this is not normal. I can't accept this diagnosis always of just arthritis or getting older. So that's when I went and said, listen, I'd like to see a specialist. I would like to see a knee surgeon. Not knowing anything about this, I thought knee surgeon, because something's incredibly wrong.
Okay. So you spoke to your GP and so what did your GP do? What was the next steps?
My GP said, if you want to go to a surgeon, we're going to have to run you through a lot of tests because he's going to ask you that. Might as well be prepared. So I went through a lot of scans and a series of blood tests. Then I get the phone call from him and say, we've got something a little wrong in your blood test. Your ALP is elevated like 10 times, which is normal. He says it's 1,200. And it should be a lot less. He says then he talked to an endocrinologist and he said it could be my liver. So they did more tests and said, no, it's not the liver. I'm doing fine as far as that goes. And then we go for the nuclear bone scan, and they were positive. And in some ways, I'm going to have to be honest, I was almost relieved to hear that there was a diagnosis, because going through years of saying there's something really wrong and not knowing and being the only one who feels that was really disconcerting, to say the least. So even though it wasn't the best thing to hear, it was positive because then I could move forward with this.
Great. Okay. Like, as you say, you knew what was happening. That's kind of half of the battle. Very interesting. So did you then, I guess you then got referred to the endocrinologist, and what happened next? Did you have treatment or so
Yes.
tell me about, I presume you did have treatment, but please
Oh,
tell us
yes.
about it.
I was given the zoldronic acid, of which they said I was a good candidate because all my other levels were good, except for my vitamin D. And I understand that kind of going that way is very hard. It depletes your vitamin D in your system. So I had to go on a mega dose of vitamin D for 3 months to get it up. I also had another dose of vitamin D for 3 months once I got the zoldronic acid. So that's virtually what they told me to do.
Excellent. That's quite right. And did it help? Did you have any side effects? Did you get
Okay.
worse? Then you got better?
Okay. Well, this is the thing. I want to start with on a positive note because I am thrilled that we have something that really super affected me in a positive way. So if we're looking at the big picture, I am thrilled that I was able to have that injected into my arm. It was a little scary at first, but I got it. Side effects, yes. First 4 days were, I'm going to have to say, scary. I didn't feel comfortable even standing, never mind walking. I didn't know how long it would last because I wasn't really told how long this side effect was going to last, but I've gotten some support from the Paget's group, but I found them after I had the injection. So,
Okay, that's interesting. I must say, you're talking about, those of us in the trade call it a flu-like illness, but I must say, I always mention that because as you say, it can be a bit worrying for some people. But did those effects fade then, and you started to feel better?
I would say, your mind's a crazy thing. After 2 months, I think, am I feeling better? I think I am, but I'm not sure. But after 4.5, 5 months, it was obvious that there was a difference. In
Okay.
fact, so much so, I had my friend over. We had a glass of wine, and she said, I haven't seen you walk that easily for, I would say, 5 years. So
Wow.
she's the one who noticed it. I'm going to have to say it's gone down a bit since. I believe it's more the arthritis, but I always have to keep in my mind how bad it was going to be. I thought I was going to have to give up tennis. I told everybody that was a major possibility, and I'm back on the courts now.
That's amazing. So, well, that's what I like to hear. Not only the alkaline phosphatase or ALP going down, but someone, as a result of treatment, can do what they want to do. So that's fantastic. Now,
Oh, put the ALP went down to 89. Let's not forget that. We're happy about that too.
so that's good. Now, you mentioned you're well, you're based in Toronto, at least you live in Toronto. As you may know from some of the information we send out, genetic factors can be important in Paget. Can you trace like any, thinking of where you come from, if you see what I mean, where your heritage is, anything
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely, because what I got through your presentations are that there are hot spots, and you had a doctor who is you worked out of Quebec
Yeah.
and said that there was a hot spot where in eastern Quebec. Well, I live in Toronto. That's in the middle of Canada, but my parents are both from eastern Quebec,
Okay.
and both are French. And genetic wise, looking at, I had that done. I'm 95% French with a lot of the same names on both sides. So I won't say exactly interbreeding, but saying it's a heavy French background in the hot spot as described by the doctor from Quebec.
Okay, so I gather you found out about the association through Facebook, but now you're a member of our virtual support group. And I wondered if you could tell me, have you found that useful? What do you get out of it? And yeah, so please give me some feedback if we're doing the right thing.
Right. I like it for two reasons. Of course, the information reach aspect is fantastic. I've learned a lot about Paget's, how it affects other people, what to expect. If I get any personal questions, I have a venue where I can ask a Paget's nurse, which is amazing. On the other hand, the other half of why I find it really useful are the people that show up. I feel almost a camaraderie with the people. I don't feel like such an outcast. And it's great to be in a group of people where you don't have to explain this disease and spend the first 10, 15 minutes talking about how you're not feeling well or how you got diagnosed. It's already there. So it's camaraderie. And I'm going to have to say, I've laughed an awful lot. And I know Pages is not something to laugh at, but we're human, and you formed relationships. And I feel I know the people in my group quite well, and look forward to seeing them.
Okay, Mickey, that's great to hear. And as you might know, it's only in the last couple of years we've established these virtual support groups, and now we can reach people all across the world, like yourself in Canada. And I just find that so gratifying to hear. So, Mickey, thank you for your time this afternoon. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And yeah, thanks once again.
My pleasure.
Thank you.